Hi, welcome to the series of Jaspersoft reports. In this video session, we are going to see the nuts and bolts of sub-reports in Jaspersoft Design Studio. The agenda for this session is, firstly, I will walk you through on what is sub-report. Then we take a look on the usage and some keynotes on sub-reports. And finally, we will see an example on how we can create a sub-report in Jaspersoft Studio. And we will also see how we can call a sub-report from a master report. Let's get started. What is a sub-report? In Jaspersoft, a sub-report is altogether a new report. It is one of the most advanced reporting techniques. Now, what is sub-reporting? Sub-reporting is nothing but calling a report from the another report. The nested report is called as sub-report, and the nesting report is called as master report or main report, or we can also call it as parent report. Now let's take a look on the usage and some keynotes on sub-reports. Sub-reports are generally used to design complex reports. Using sub-reports, we can reuse the same design in as many master reports. A sub-report can use the same data source connection as master report, or it can use a new data source connection from its properties. We can pass parameters from master report to sub-report. A sub-report can return the values from a sub-report can return the values to the master report to find some specific calculations. A master report can consist of multiple sub-reports. On the same lines, a sub-report again can consist of multiple sub-reports. That means we can nest sub-reports inside a sub-report. Now let us briefly look at what is compilation with respect to sub-report. In the development phase of any sub-report, we make a lot of changes. Unless we compile the sub-report, we cannot see the changes made in it when we call it from master report. So it is mandatory to compile a sub-report before we run a master report. We specify the sub-report in master report using .jasper reference. .jasper is a binary file which will be generated when we compile a report. Now let us see how we can create a sub-report and how we can call a sub-report from a master report. I am considering a scenario of product. So we are going to display the product name from the master report and product details such as gross weight and net weight from the sub-report. This demonstration is divided into 3 parts. First, we create a master report, then we create a sub-report, and finally, we call a sub-report from the master report. To make the sub-report data consistent with master report data, we pass a parameter from the master report to the sub-report. So to start with creating master reports, from the studio, click on File, New, then Jasper Report. Select the blank report from report templates, then click on Next. Let's save this master report with a meaningful name. And here I am taking as sub-reports master report product name. So in this master report, we are going to display only the product name. So click on Next. Then from the data adapter dropdown, select the FoodMart database. And let us provide this query for the master report. So the master report is retrieving product ID, product name, SKU, SRP, and this is filtered with Washington brand name. So click on next. Then let us push all the fields from the dataset fields to the fields node here. So click on next. Let's skip this group by here. So click on next and then finish. Now from the outline view, let us remove the unnecessary bands for the master reports. We are going to keep the product name in the detail band. So let us remove title, page footer, page header, and summary bands from the outline. So multi-select the unnecessary bands that we want to remove. And then right click on the selected ones and click on the delete option. So we don't also require the summary band here. We also do not require this page header. So, but we need title band to give a title to the master report. And from the field nodes, let's select the product name field and drag it onto the detail band. Let's remove the label for this product name. We are going to display the product. We are going to display the product details under specific product name. That means we are going to keep the sub report in the detail band. So let us quickly format this product field here. Increase the font size a bit more, so the visibility is better when we run this master report. So we are done with the master report. So let's preview this one. We can see 2 pages of output for the master report. Let's restrict it to have few products displayed. So in the SQL code, let's limit the code to 1 or 2 records. So let us give at least 3. So click OK, click preview. We can see the report will be displayed with the 3 records within 1 page. So now we are done with the master reports. Let's work on sub reports. So from the palette, select the sub report component and drag it under product name in the detail band. Sub report has these 3 options to create a report. By default, it is selected as to choose the existing report, but we are not going to choose the existing report for this demonstration. So let us go with create a new report here on the first place. So click on next. Then again select blank report from the templates wizard. Click on next. Then let us save this sub report under reports folder. Let's name it as sub report product details. So click on next. Then from the adapter drop down, select the footnote again, and let us query the product table with the details of gross weight and net weight. So let us copy this query and give it in the SQL editor of the studio. So click next. Let's push all the fields from the dataset fields to the fields node here. Then click next. Let's skip the group by field. Then click next. And in the connection wizard, let's use the same connection for this demo. So click next. We will come back to the dataset parameters at a later time. So click on finish. So again on the sub report, let's remove the unnecessary bands for this one. We are going to keep the product details only in the detail band, one of the other in the vertical order. So let's remove title, page header, column footer, page footer, and summary. And let us also remove the margins for this sub report. So let's update these margins with 0 value. Now from the fields node, drag gross weight, net weight, and unit per case to the detail band. So let's arrange these test fields in the vertical order so we can see the details for each product. And let's make the width of these text fields 200 or something like that. So 100 is a good count. And let us label these text fields with its names. So I am copying the same text fields, but I am going to update the labels here. So maximize a bit. So this should be gross weight label. Gross weight. And this should be net weight label. And the next one should be unit per case. So now we have the sub report design with us. Let's quickly preview this one. Okay, so the sub report output just looks fine to me. So get back to the design mode and adjust the width of the detail band. So we cannot adjust the width to the detail band. So adjust the width of the report here in the page format with 200 pixels, and height should be equivalent to the sum of these text fields here. It should be 120 pixels. So the design fits exactly with the heights and widths of text fields taken. Come back to the parent report here, and let's match the height and width of this element to the heights and widths of the elements of the sub report. So the height should be 120 pixels, and the width is already 200. So what happens if I run this master reports now? So let us run this master report and see what we are getting on the output. It's still running. Yeah, we can see the output is displayed for the master and sub report. We can see that the product name is different, but we can see that the sub report content is same for each product. That means the sub report data is inconsistent with the data of the parent report, or say the master report. So to make the data consistent with the master report, we need to pass a parameter from master report to the sub report. So the parameter should be product ID in this case. So from the parameter section of the outline view in the master report, let's create a parameter with the name of param product ID. And this should be of integer type. And this is going to be an internal parameter to the report. So it is not required to have this checkbox enabled. So let's save this report and let's pass it on to the sub report. So select the sub report element, and in the properties, select the sub report and then click on this edit parameter options. So add the parameter created, which is param product ID, and the parameter expression should be the field name here. We are not going to pass product ID externally when we run the report. So this is an internal parameter and we are passing it to the sub report to make the data consistent with the master report data. So every time we run the report, the relevant product ID will be passed on to the sub report. So click on finish. So click OK, click finish, save the master report, and let's run it. Still, we are not getting the desired output for the sub report. So in all the three cases here, the data is same for each product. So that means we haven't actually used the parameter in the sub report. So let us create the same parameter in the sub report and pass it on to the SQL code. Create the parameter param product ID. So the suggestion already there. Then select the relevant type here. And again, it is not for prompting. So uncheck this option here. So save the report. Go to the SQL code of this sub report and replace this hard coded with the parameter that just we created in the sub report. So click on the parameters tab in the bottom, then drag it into the place of hard coded value. So click OK, save the report. Now get back to the master report and let's run it. So still we are not seeing the desired output from the sub report. This is because we have made some changes in the sub report, but we haven't compiled it. So let's compile the sub report. We can see what is compiled in this report in the bottom in the console. So the JRXML is compiled. As soon as we compile this report, we can see that a Jasper file is generated in the Project Explorer in the relevant folder here. So the inside the report folders, we can see that for the sub report, the Jasper file is generated. So now in the master report, or say the parent report, if we run this, we expect to see the desired output from the sub report. So on the safe side, it is suggested to compile this master report as well. So click on this compile button. We can see that what elements has been compiled for this master report. So now if I run this master report, I should see the relevant data from the sub report. So click on run button here. Now we can see the product details are getting correctly for each of the product name here. So again, if we make any changes in the sub report, we must compile this sub report and then we again have to run the master report. So this is how we can create a sub report, or say we can call a sub report from the master report. And internally, we have seen how we can create a parameter and pass it on to the sub report. So this brings us to the end of the session on sub reports. But before we wrap up, let us see what we have seen so far. So first we have seen what is sub report, then we walked through the usage and some keynotes on the sub reports, and finally we have seen how we can create a sub report, and we have also seen how we can call the sub report created from the master report. So that's all for this session. I hope you're a little clearer on what we see in this. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates.